This is Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. Alright, I'm back, and we need to get to the bald hilltop because things are going terribly wrong. I'm gonna check my kingdom interface real quick and see if there's anything we can do. It said something about doing an event from the kingdom interface as well as going to the actual bald hilltop. Needing to do both? I don't know. We'll see. Eight-legged plague. The rumors surrounding the bald hilltop prove true. The barony has been flooded with monstrous spiders, attacking the locals and slaughtering the cattle. Slaughtering the cattle? No! Reports indicate that the huge arachnids spread a ghastly disease that weakens the victim with fever and coats their body with blisters. This invasion has to be stopped before panic and infection ravage the stolen lands. Only requires 1 day to solve. Well, the only person I can have do this is Harem. But he actually seems reasonably well suited to this. +3 Divine on Successor Triumph. I don't want to fail. DC is only 10, though. How long is it going to take them? It's going to take her 2 more days. It's going to take him 8 more days. It's going to take her 2 more days. Kind of rather have... Alright, we'll get Harem to do it. We'll get Harem to do it. Now I want to go to the bald hilltop. Issue an urgent decree and protect the barony. Says we've done it. An eerie hilltop with little to no growth. Rumors has it that long ago, dark rituals to forgotten evil gods scarred this place forever, leaving it to remain lifeless and corrupted until the end times. I'm gonna rest real quick. Hunting only took 4 hours. Nice. Okay, now that that's done, let's bring the kingdom thing back up. Eight-legged plague is done. The barony managed to persevere and enjoys peace once again. Gain some community, some loyal, and some divine. Good job. One day until Hands of Gold is done. Loyalty and economy are ready to rank up, but can't do those things yet. Alright, we're going to go up here to the Bald Hilltop and we're going to handle our business. Hope you guys are ready for this. Here we go. All right.
Time becomes distance.
Some crazy plants.
I'll carve my name into your flesh!
Okay, we got some giant spiders, no problem. Let's back up.
Unworthy.
Repent!
Wretched things. Despicable.
Now we're talking.
Die, die, die! Let the attack commence!
Your life ebbs low. What a waste!
Advance! Ha!
Ow!
Oh, we got some kind of caster. Whoa, what the fuck just happened to... Doom Spider? Oh no! Just popped out and fucked Harem up. Okay. Here's what needs to happen. You need to get on that Doom
Unworthy.
Spider. I want everybody to back up. Unless you're Jathal, get on the Doom
Wretched
Spider.
things.
Blast!
Despicable.
Damn it, Jathal. Okay. Now, put your protection on. Click moderate yourself. Harem is down over there. I want you to start singing. I want you to enlarge. I want you to enlarge her. Okay, I'm enlarged. I'm gonna pop this off. She's enlarged. She's gonna rage. The song is going. Let's get the murder pony out. Let's finish this spider off. Good. Now the Doom Spider. See, I've got Bull Strength, Mutagen Strength, and Enlarge. I'm at a 30 Strength right now. I'm gonna Rage. I'm gonna charge the Doom Spider. Meanwhile, Lindsay, the pony has been summoned and is attacking the Doom Spider. Lindsay, go ahead and start dropping magic missiles on the spider. You can start dropping... Oh, it's haste time! Move up. Ooh, look at that hit. Haste time! Lindsay, let's come up and do a Cure Moderate on her. Oh my god, I wrecked that Doom Spider. Dude! She's such a beast right now. Hitting for plus 25?! Okay, wait a minute. Something's wrong. Why am I hitting for what are all these other plus ones? We got some kind of bugginess. Well, I got haste on, right? And rage.
May I see your entrails, please?
She's gonna get harem up. She's gonna come over here.
Down!
She's gonna do that. She's gonna drop a little something I like to call Scorching Ray. I'm held for 32 seconds. Not a lot I can do about that. Arm's gonna do that. Do that. Did the Scorching Ray hit? It did. Let's get another one going.
Yes.
Oh, and we killed her. We did it. Oh, now those plants are going away. We solved it. The attacks on our Barbarian have stopped. Did we win? We'll have to wait for news to arrive. Oh, we did it. Doom Spider was pretty serious, though. A fragment of an ancient pillar covered with eroded letters of unknown language. Silky had a magic cloak, wyvern skin cloak, a +1 ring of protection, and some gold. Nobody needs this +1 ring. +2 to natural armor and +4 against poison, sleep, and paralysis. That's a great cloak. I think I'm gonna wear this cloak. And then I don't need this natural armor amulet. +1 saves and +3 against poison. She can wear that. And I've got a +1 cloak of resistance. Everyone's got one though. And +1 natural armor amulet. I don't need it. She's got a +2. She's got a +1. He doesn't have one. She's got the Nymph's Gift. She's got the double crosses. He'll wear this. Okay.
Step, step, step.
Some kind of crazy, weird ritual site.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder? Trail me.
Guess there's nothing else here.
Step, step, step. The road calls me.
Request.
I'll take the bait. Time becomes distance.
So that's finally handled. Regular dagger. Well, good news is it says there's a new event at the fort across the Skunk River, and I think that means my fucking... I can go get my treasurer now, I think. So I will enter this location. Okay.
Time becomes distance.
Gonna save. Hey, you there! Quick, you've got to help us!
You cannot stand against me.
Though the outlaws have been vanquished and a rightful government has been established in the stolen lands, travelers should keep their eyes peeled. These places are chock full of danger. Approaching the river, we hear the sounds of battle. Someone's in trouble. Who will step in to help them if not the realm's Baroness? A cry for help has reached our ears. Oh no, someone yells. Move faster, you lazy cowards, you chicken-livered sods, or we're done for. Wasting no time, we hurry to the rescue. Just go nuts, guys. It's just kobolds. Okay, turn on AI and they do nothing.
Tear them apart!
Repent!
Die, die, die!
Quick, you've got to help us! More kobolds. Tartuccio again! God damn it, Tartuccio. So, the gnome invites some of his friends. Stupid, slow, sluggish gnome. Gnome! Stupid! There's a purple kobold on the riverbank who looks just like your old acquaintance Tartuccio. Kobolds want this card! Kobolds shall have it! The horse skull hides most of the kobold's face, but you see his vicious eyes glinting through the empty sockets, staring at you. By orders of myself, the glorious King Tartuk! The kobold pounds his chest with his fist. Alter ego of the gnome Tartuccio. Until recently, you thought you'd killed him. Tartuk! King! The head of the gnome expedition wipes his brow and glares at the kobold. This bastard was the one talking our ears off while the rest of them were trying to steal our cart. King Tartuk! The gnome looks at you and winks. What do you say to a bit of regicide? Tartuccio! What the fuck? It's you again? How are you in a new disguise, and why aren't you dead? We killed you. I killed you. How dare you speak like that to King? Kobolds! Attack! Sirdas! 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 Oh, did he just haste them?
Who
That's
will
rude.
prevail? Does it matter?
Oh, they are.
Let the
hasted as a
attack
motherfucker.
commence!
Leaving you out of our story.
Easy enough. See you soon enough! This is not over! Yeah, I'm still going, son. Well, actually, I just started again a little bit ago. I stopped for a while. My cart! It's sinking! Alright. What a glorious victory! We ground those little blighters into dust! The kobolds, I mean. Not the gnomes, of course. Alas, while we were fighting, their cart, the gnomes, not the kobolds, slipped into the river and was nearly carried away by the current. Among all the fuss, the cart's ponies have nearly slipped their harnesses. Better hurry to catch them. Masterwork light crossbow. How you doing, son? I don't want that short sword. Don't let the current drag it over. Drag it under. I can't handle it without your help. Fine, thanks. My feet are sore. I was out walking all night. Really? Where were you? Where were you walking? While the gnomes were busy fighting the kobolds, furiously cursing and diligently punching their unwelcome guests right in their dragonish snouts, the cart was all but forgotten. The unwitting cause of the fight. It was being dragged away by the scared ponies when it slid down the ford, sinking all the way up to the coachman's seat in the river. This is where the Skunk River flows into the Tuskwater, and the current becomes excessively spiteful, cold, stubborn, and turbulent. Having taken hold of the gnome's cart, the Skunk River must have decided to drag it down amid all the commotion, but it was caught in the act. The Tuskwater is a brown, rocky lake with numerous gullies and pits of standing water that explode the local populations of mosquitoes, sturgeons, and assassin vines. That sounds like a gross place. At its depths, the Tuskwater is bountiful, roiling with pike, long-nosed gar, bluegill, and fanged eels. The shrieking eels! The eels in particular are heavily valued, considered a rare delicacy on the tables of New Stetven and Greater Bavoy, and the fishermen who plumb the depths of the lake are slow to give up the secrets of avoiding their vicious bites and grasping their slippery skins. The Skunk River. Among the few speedy rivers flowing through the Gnarl Marches lowlands, the Skunk River is the fastest. Along its stream are multiple rapids and riffles, each just waiting to catch a traveler or even a whole cart along one of its few river fords. The river received its name from the rather unpleasant smell of its waters, which only kobolds, mites, trolls, and boggards seem to find tolerable to drink. The smell comes from the several sulfur-rich springs that feed into the Skunk River from beneath the Gnarl Marches. Alright, we got sulfur. The surviving gnomes, led by the head of the gnome expedition, an extremely loud and crabby fellow, but not without some managerial talent, were able to catch the cart before it floated away. Faces red and grunting from the strain, they struggled to keep it from drowning entirely. Just then, a package fell into the water. With a heartbreaking splash, it vanished beneath the current, only to resurface 10 meters down the river. "No!" the head of the gnome expedition moaned as he glowered at the package. "That was Alchemy and Life! The latest issue!" After plunging into the cold river, the ponies immediately lost their nerve. Swiveling their ears and twitching, they tried to chew through the reins and throw off the load. "Why are you just standing around? Go on, help them!" The head of the gnome expedition was visibly dissatisfied as he shouted. Heartbreaking slash, yeah, you know how those are. Alright, we're gonna tie a rope. One, two, three, and the rope was securely tied to the cart, making it easier to pull out. A good lesson for every adventurer. Never leave home without a rope. Rope is your best friend. We're gonna use a crowbar. Set under the wheel, the crowbar wedged into position against the stones on the riverbed, making the process of pulling the cart out of the river easier. Alright, somebody's going to try to untie the ponies. They need mobility and nature lore. Well, mobility is her. 11 and 2, 22 and none. 2 and 10. 11 and 2. 3 and 4. 3 and 7. I guess I'll do it. Kid had tripped on the edge of the cart and fell awkwardly on the roof, startling the already frightened ponies even more. But I succeeded on nature. The ponies seemed to be relieved to feel a firm hand holding the reins again. They calmed down at once and allowed themselves to be unhitched. In just a few moments, they were standing back at the ford, ready to pull the cart from the river. Let's pull the cart. If you're certain you're ready, then let's do it. But be careful. Imagine the cart's full of gold, or ale, or some other thing you couldn't bear to lose. Let's pull it out. The cart creaked and cracked, sounding as though it were sobbing. The board strained against the combined stress of the rushing water's pull against everyone trying to pull the cart ashore. Unfortunately for the cart, both sides were of equal strength. Something had to be done, or the poor cart would be torn to pieces. What happened to my... Hold on. Where the fuck did my hot pad thing go? Oh, it's on the floor somehow. It shouldn't be on the floor. It should be behind my back. Helping me with old man pains. Hold on. I'm having old man problems right now. Alright, nature lore. Intelligence. Strength, athletics, charisma. Well, my best bet here is to use strength. I think. So, let's do that. Why think when you have strong hands? The Baroness decided that if the cart won't give, we just needed to pull harder. After everyone struggled together for a while, the cart finally made it out of the muddy riverbed and rolled back onto the rocky ground of the waiting ford, prompting some seemingly indignant sloshes and squelches as the river released its trophy and rushed along in search of easier prey. Losing no time, the head of the gnome expedition jumped inside. For a good while, rattling and swearing were all that could be heard from the cart, until the gnome's face finally reappeared from under the rooftop, seemingly satisfied. "Almost everything's still in place," he announced cheerfully, jumping from the cart. "It's all wet and crumpled, but at least nothing's missing. Thank you, travelers. If not for your help, guided by my keen supervision, of course, I'd have had to say goodbye to all my possessions." We did it. The gnomes have been saved. I'm sure they'll want to thank us from the bottoms of their hearts. Let's not keep them waiting. Now, the question is... I think I used up my rope and my crowbar, so I'm going to need to get new ones if I can find them anywhere. Come here, my valiant savior. Let me have a word with you. Valiant savior, that's what I am. Cart is unbroken, almost unharmed, and ready for new journeys. Thank you. Oh, we made it! Hooray, we won! I just saved some gnomes, you guys. I don't know how I feel about this. The gnome that stands before you wears dirty and ragged clothes. They used to look stylish and wealthy long ago, but those times are long gone. His black hair is matted, a deep, fresh scratch crosses his cheek. Despite of this rather pathetic look, the gnome behaves with inner dignity and even manages to maintain a superior manner.
Tubulos Nartropple, at your grace's service. Your help with these kobolds and my almost drowned cart was timely indeed.
He introduces himself and looks closely at your party.
By the way, it's a shame no one organized a greeting party when such a famous and popular person as myself arrived to your capital. I wasn't expecting a red carpet covered with rose petals, but you could at least have sent ahead some delegation. Oh, at least some of my servants are still alive. Do you know how much it costs to train a proper servant?
Jubilos jabbers too fast, never stopping even to take a breath. You can see he's piled up some emotions and just needs to get them out of his system.
Sounds like your servants are nothing but tools to you. Truly, with masters like that, being a servant is not much of an improvement over being a slave.
Octavia glowers at the gnome. She doesn't like that.
What's this then? Run along, little girl, the grown-ups are talking.
Wow, Jubilost is a dick. The gnome sizes Octavia up from under his glasses and snorts, rolling his eyes.
So, you're not only arrogant, but a boorish swine as well. Why am I not surprised at all?
Jubilost only clears his throat, paying no attention to the fuming mage.
Also, while I'm on that, I'd like to make an official announcement. The roads in your barony are in terrible condition. People must search for wading fords to cross the rivers because no one had bothered themselves with building bridges, and honest travelers have to take the risk of being attacked by kobolds at any moment. So, what did you say your barony was called? Whatever, never mind. When I draw the map of these lands, I will call them Maybe Local Baroness Will Help. I guess it's a fitting name.
The gnome falls silent at last. He just watches you with his shifty eyes, opening and closing his mouth, as if he wants to say something more, but hasn't come up with anything yet. Chaotic evil attack! How do you even know I'm a baroness?
I've already told you I visited your capital some time ago. Weren't you listening to me? And I'm used to being greeted by officials when I arrive to settlements of at least some importance. The glory of myself and my exploits usually precedes me, and officials usually prefer to be on good terms with me.
Jubilos wonders a trifle too heartily. He smiles slyly. I didn't know you'd come!
Yes, you're right. I should have remembered that your lands are in the middle of nowhere, and you don't get updates on important things in time.
Jubilos thinks this over, tilting his head. Looks like this thought never occurred to him. Hey, Splode! Welcome back! Yeah, I just started like a half hour ago or something. But I really like the way you talk to me, Gnome.
So what? Well, I don't like a lot of things. You know what I do when I don't like something? I try to change it. For example, I don't like your barony's roads, so I've reported to the authorities about it, namely, you. And as for you, instead of pouting, you'd better get down to business and try to resolve the trouble.
Jubilos presses his fists against his hips.
Oh, I can see it's your first encounter with freedom of speech. Just do what you consider right and let others discuss it. You know, not everyone gets a chance to become a baroness, so discussing a baroness' actions is actually all the unlucky ones can do.
Seeing the spectrum of emotions changing on your face, the gnome softens up a bit. Actually, I think freedom is good. Even freedom of speech. Even freedom of gnome speech, I guess. But don't push it!
Wow, a baroness supporting freedom of speech. Well, that's news. Remains to be seen what you'll say after reading my article.
So, you said you were famous, but I've never heard of you. What are you famous for?
That was either a stupid and offensive joke or a case of total ignorance. The latter, I hope. I'm famous as a traveler, a cartographer, an alchemist, and a journalist. The students of all the major universities study the world using my maps. My articles for different journals are well known everywhere, from Andorran to Brevoy. You've definitely read some issues of National Alchemy, haven't you?
Actually, she probably has, since she's an alchemist. Jubilos pouches his lips.
Culinary Almanac of the Inner Sea? Or the most scandalous one, the Independence, describing benefits and drawbacks of governments and regimes in different states. Didn't read any of these. Oh, well, don't answer that. I don't want to spoil my impression of your barony. It's spoiled enough already. It would be hard for me to write at least something positive otherwise.
Wait, the Jubilos Narthropple? Author of the 14 and a half eulogies to Pitax? Oh my! Every student in the Academy of Grand Arts devoured your books, especially after King Aravetti banned them, tried you in absentia, and sentenced you to death.
He's been sentenced to death in Pitax. That's pretty funny.
I see at least someone in this shabby barony has at least a rudimentary education, even if they got them in such a dubious establishment as the Pitax Academy of Grand Arts.
I was expelled for irreverence.
Ha! Is this so? Well, if it is true, then you just might not be beyond hope.
So why is there someone so famous way out here in the middle of nowhere?
I pursued two objectives. The first is to write an article on this new barony of yours for the Independence. The second is to draw a detailed map of the stolen lands. Before this barony appeared, it had been too dangerous to come here, but now an opportunity has appeared. Thanks to you, I must add. So, as you can see, the freedom of speech sometimes grants positive comments too. Anyway, I'm almost done with this journey. My article is practically ready, so is the map. All that's left to do now is to find an old dwarven outpost established here several centuries ago.
So what happened? How did your cart end up in the river? Never crossed a river before, or...?
My party and I set up camp at the bank of this river. We'd just finished kindling the fire when that purple bastard appeared.
Jubilos scratches his chin.
You know what he told me? He introduced himself as the King of the Kobolds and told me he needed our clothes because he wanted to dress his subjects properly, you see, as long as they've established the kingdom of their own. That's literally what he said. I wonder, where did he learn the words? Obviously, I told him to buzz off. Some kobold wants to strut around wearing the clothes of the great cartographer Jubilos Narthropple. No way.
Jubilos's face gets red in resentment.
So I've been explaining my position to him, being rather eloquent too, suggesting he and his so-called kingdom might as well fall into the deepest sinkhole. And in the meantime, I've noticed that kobolds have already started to untie my cart. Well, I called my men to keep the cart safe. They couldn't guess what to do on their own, just stood there with their mouths ajar. Then things heated up as the fighting started, and while we were fighting, the ponies dragged the cart to the river. Ah, stupid animals.
Well, I'm glad I came along to save the day. So what's this dwarven outpost you're looking for?
Your ignorance is stunning. You create a barony, and still you know nothing about the lands you own. I'll have to enlighten you on the subject.
Jubilos pouches his lips.
You see, long ago there was a dwarven trade route crossing these lands. It connected Five Kings Mountains and the north. The route was so important to the dwarves that they were generous enough to set a number of outposts along it, manned with armed guardians to provide protection for the traders. One of these outposts must be somewhere nearby, lost and completely forsaken, but nothing can avoid the watchful eye of the great cartographer Jubilos Nartruple. I will find this outpost, and I will mark its location on the map. You can trust me on that.
Jubilos thrust out his chest. Wait a minute. Is there a chance this dwarven outpost is used by trolls now?
Why not? Dwarves like being underground, trolls like being underground too. It's quite possible after dwarves left, their warm and cozy place fell into the hands of less attractive creatures.
Jubilos shrugs. Well, look, I'm looking for the troll lair, so we might be looking for the same place. You should join my barony.
Well, you proved to be a capable companion in a case of emergency. I guess I can entrust you with covering my back. Let's go. I will send someone for my cart later.
You can go on back to the capital. The gnome we saved turned out to be a celebrity. He's none other than Jubilos Nartruple himself, a famous traveler and explorer, the author of 3 monographs, 17 guidebooks, 2 cookbooks, several hundred scientific publications, and 1 romance novel, published under a pen name. Nowadays, he's creating a map of the stolen lands, and he's sure that somewhere around here there's a long-lost dwarven outpost that trolls may have taken up residence in. It's high time someone recovered whatever's been lost there. We've got some searching to do. The gnomes have been saved. I'm sure they'll want to thank us from the bottoms of their hearts. Let's not keep them waiting. Somewhere in this region, there's an ancient abandoned dwarven fortress. Could it be the dwelling of our foes? Oh, if only those dwarves could see it. They would tear their beards off in anger. Famous traveler Jubilos Nartruple is searching for the ruins of a dwarven fortress which lies somewhere in these lands. Okay. So I guess his cart and his little gnome guards will just stay here for eternity.
Step.
The good news is I can make that guy my my treasurer. So now I'll have one. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to the capital. We'll go back to the capital. We'll sort some kingdom stuff out. Go back to the ruined watchtower soon too, because it says there's a new event there as well. Stag Skull. We'll go straight to the throne room. Straight to the throne room through the loading screen. Loading screen, loading screen. Loading screen, it's a loading screen. We are loading and it's a screen. That's why we call it loaded screen. Loading screen, loading screen. Loading screen, it's a loading screen. We are loading and it's a screen, that's why we call it loading screen. That's why we call it loading screen. Okay, I'm back in the throne room. First thing I'm gonna do is have the game run at about 5 frames per second. Okay, the game is being very slow right now. I wonder where we find Jubilost. We're gonna go rest. Why did rest take 15 hours? I'm resting at home. Surely I don't need to hunt or anything. Why did rest take 15 hours? I didn't realize I picked up a heavy crossbow +1. Except I don't have a heavy crossbow +1. Where was that heavy crossbow +1 and that leather armor +1? Because it says... Oh, he must have had those on him. He must have those. Jubilost must have those, because that's like right when he joined my party. Alright.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
You can't. Alright, let's use this. Alright, Hands of Gold is done. She failed! The Regent failed to make an enticing offer about the fair, and the artisan decided to leave the Stolen Lands. Good job, Octavia. She failed too. Only a few loiterers stopped to stare at the military parade. Good job, Amiri. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for taking care of business. Got 6 days left on this. Thanks for taking care of business, everybody. How do I claim... Available to claim in the future. South of the Skunk River, the Gnarl March has become even more difficult in the north. The thickets are filled with bubbling bog slime, the howling of horrible beasts, and the laughter of fairies planning cruel jokes. But nothing is scarier than the moments when everything goes quiet. In these moments, a deathly silence hangs over the marshes, and eerie pale fires appear behind the gnarled trees. The northern half of the Gnarl Marches is the least dangerous part of this inhospitable region. The woods here are not yet as thick as they are to the south. The bog's not as deep and the monster's not as hungry. Still, it's no place for a casual stroll. Many wayfarers have found their travels ended forever here, not even reaching the harsher areas. I feel like I should be exploring the North Gnarl Marches. Not the south, really, right now. Because this is probably the next area I'll be able to add to my barony. Okay, the good news is I've got Jubilost now. So I can assign him as treasurer. The treasurer's duty is to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold spent is spent wisely. What did that say about him? He aims to cut expenses and spend diligently. And he's sure to let everyone know it, too. I now have a treasurer. Okay. So now, Octavia or Jubilost could do this proposal for cooperation. Only Tristan can do this, and he's still working on the weed thing. But this I could do. The agreement with Yosef now. Now that I have Jubilost, he can do this. So we're going to have him do it. And it's going to take 7 days. Merchants from Absalom. Now Octavia can handle this. Need to wait 6 days on the mysterious weed. Guess that's all we can do here for now. The 26th, we've got a few days before the 1st when presumably something's going to happen. But I don't want to just skip days and wait around. I'd rather get back out there and do stuff with our time, you know. Skipping days is just a waste. I have 85 BP. I could build some more stuff in this town. I could build... Bakken's shop is going to be done in 7 days. Everything here that can be built is done being built, including the brewery. So this town alone is giving us all these things to our stats. What stats am I low on? I need more community and military. And stability. Let's see what we can build in Forward Watch. I want more community more than anything else, because that's basically the population of your barony. I want more community. And then secondary to that, I want more military. So I can build 6 things plus a wall. What do I have? I have a tavern, a shop. I have Bakken's shop, which we're building currently. I have a longhouse. And I have a pier. So, if I build a wall, it doesn't really do anything for me, except protect the settlement's borders. If I build a barracks, it adds stability. Do I have somewhere where I can build a watchtower? I don't. I don't have a separate spot for a watchtower. Okay. $30 BB for a wall. Adds 1 to my... Cross swords is military, right? Yeah. I want a thing that adds to my community. A windmill can only be built in a separate slot. What else adds to community? A monument. I can't build another longhouse, can I? I guess I could technically. I can build a granary. A granary would be good to have. Barracks add the stability when next to a longhouse. A lumberyard adds if you have piers, and I do have piers. So I should get a lumberyard. Monument adds to community and loyalty. So I should build... We have a tavern. We have a smithy? We don't have a smithy. Smithy when next to a shop. Oh, I don't have a spot next to my shop. I screwed up. Oh well. Unless I build another shop. But then it won't be next to a tavern. No. I want a monument, a lumberyard, a granary, a barracks, can always get more than one of some of these things, too. Like, right now I have 85. I don't want to spend any more than 60, I think. This could just be super grain town if I just built a shitload of granaries. Let's build a barracks right here. Let's build a granary. If I spend 25, I'll have 15 left, which is just enough to claim a thing on the map. We'll put a lumberyard in here next to the granary as well. Okay. That's all we can afford to build at Forward Watch for now. Nothing else I can do until... We got 7 days on this. We got 6 days on that. And 7 days. So a week from now, it'll be time to do some new stuff. And then we'll have more BP in a week as well. Heartbreaking slash. How come my chat doesn't have timestamps anymore? The fuck? My chat is supposed to have timestamps. Please give me timestamps. There we go. Much better. Soul Eaters and some demons can consume a living creature's soul, making its resurrection a difficult task. Hey, there's Jubilost. Alright, let's have the talk with Jubilost. Jubilost raises his head and closes his notebook. Ah, it's you. How can I help you? You know, you're not really very friendly, Jubilost. Do you think so? Jubilost looks at you above his glasses. Why ever not, if I might ask? Perhaps you confuse superficially friendly words with genuinely friendly intentions. Believe it or not, I wish you only well. As a proof of that, I can point to the fact that I travel with you, and that I'm talking with you right here and now. Tell me, which do you value more, an artificial smile or an honest attitude bolstered by friendly advice and assistance? Ha! Tonight you go to sleep without dinner. Jeez. Whatever. Act however you like. I thank you for this permission. Can I have it in writing, in case you forget someday? What are you always writing down in that book? You're like Lindsay. Notes on our adventures. Good ideas that come to mind. I don't know how it is with you, but in my case, my mind is constantly producing thoughts and ideas worthy of writing down. Some I use in my articles and books. Others I will share with the audience next time I speak at Foray Logos in Absalom. Some other thoughts should be kept out of the public view for a while. Our world isn't quite yet ready for certain revelations. So, what can you tell me about yourself? I've heard this request so many times. Well, as we're traveling together, I suppose I can give you an interview. Free of charge, of course. Where are you from? All of Galarian is my home. I am a citizen of the world. Some might say my home is Absalom, that great old patchwork city. It's there that my books and magazine articles are published, and there I am held in particularly high esteem, owing to my vast knowledge. In fact, I was once invited to the College of Mysteries itself, but I prefer to think of Absalom not as home, but headquarters, where I go to plan my next adventure. I've visited every country worth mentioning in Avestan and Garand. I've even trodden the exotic lands of Tianzia. I've seen miracles you couldn't even imagine. And in every place I've been, there was a home that would have gladly received a renowned explorer such as myself. The famous name of Jubilos Nartropol is known even in the most remote corners of the world. Yeah, but where were you born? You know, the line between persistence and importunity is very thin, and you risk crossing that line. Jubilos sighs. Do you think I haven't mentioned my birthplace because of my forgetfulness? I was born in Taldor, if you must know. The Empire is in decline nowadays, but still cherishes the illusion of its past glory. It's a country torn by prejudice. In Taldor, my mind was trapped in a cage of restrictions, birthright, poverty, and their beggars-be-damned attitude. I left the country as soon as I understood it. Taldor, knights, fair maidens, heroic adventures, and righteous quests, these are the legends of old Taldor. But the once powerful empire has fallen from its former glory. Now rival nobles battle each other with bitter knights and proxy armies for personal power rather than honor. Fallen Kingdom. So, if you ever try to rekindle any patriotic feelings in me, you'll be disappointed. My first article in The Independence was about Taldor. The magazine was almost closed as a result of the scandal that followed. And it would have closed were it not for crowds of my supporters marching in protest under the windows of the publishing house, making its editors change their mind. So, you write books and magazine articles then, huh? I certainly do. I'm too generous not to share my thoughts and journeys with other minds who search for knowledge. Judging from your face, you don't belong in that category. Jubilos sighs. Among my scientific works, I'd recommend the range of articles published in National Alchemy. If you prefer lighter reading, you might like Traveller's Essays or the scandalous The Independence. If pictures capture your attention better than words, page through the Illustrated Atlas of Avestan. And should you give your cook a volume or two of my culinary almanacs, trust me, it might help. Jubilos throws a speculative glance at you. Some have tried to blame me for a sleazy romance novel called The 5 Sins of Serenray. I have no idea on who spread these crazy rumors, but if you like such frivolity, I've been informed that the novel's sequel, The 6th Sin, was recently published. So you've traveled all over the place, huh? Tell me about your travels. Jubilos tilts his head, peering at you. I've written a fair number of articles and essays on my journeys, and if you'll excuse me, I haven't the slightest desire to retell them all to you right now. If you wish to learn about foreign lands, pick up any issue of The Independence and read all you like. I'm sure you can find my magazines even in this hole of a place. Why do you wear those glasses? You could just get a cleric to heal your eyes. Jubilos throws a cutting glance at you. I'm sure you could have figured out the answer to that question on your own, if you bothered to use a logical approach. At least I sincerely hope so. I prefer to think of you as a lazy person, not a stupid one. Jubilos tightens his lips. Well then, I suppose it's my fate to enlighten you. All right, there's no time like the present. Let's build up to a logical conclusion together. So, starting with the obvious. A cleric's services cost several hundred gold coins. Spectacles cost 12 gold coins. So maybe I just couldn't afford to pay the cleric? Incorrect conclusion. I earn enough. Besides, some clerics would surely help me free of charge because they're fans of my incomparable talent. This fucking guy. The answer can't be the money, then. So what is it? Let's explore further. Surely you've noticed that I'm a rather famous person? Just to be clear which circles I'm famous in. My scientific articles are well known among the students and teachers of various institutions of higher education. My articles that satirize the rich and powerful are extremely popular among the minor nobility, traders and workers. That is, among anyone who doesn't have any power for themselves. The kind of people who usually don't have enough money to afford an expensive cleric. Well, can you add it all up and find the right answer yet? Jubilos doesn't get a single word in edgewise. Apparently he's uninterested in your reaction and is just enjoying listening to his own voice. My spectacles are something that unites me with my readers. People are more open to those who share their social status. Many of my readers can't afford to heal their eyesight at the temple, so when I too refuse such healing, I become closer to the people. My spectacles are part of my image. Jubilost exhales at last. I believe I've managed to explain the basics of logical thinking. No need to thank me. I'm gonna punch this little fucker right in the mouth. I'm gonna punch you, Jubilost. Well, thanks for that, I guess. Let me ask you something else. Jubilost casually waves his hand. Ask away. Tell me some more about gnomes. What have I come to? Jubilos Narthropple, famous explorer, writer and scientist, is reduced to giving simple lessons in history? Very well. Ask away. What questions do you have? Do gnomes live long when they're not being murdered? Certainly. Long and happily ever after. Jubilos shakes his head in remorse. We'd live as long as elves were it not for the bleaching. The bleaching is the name given to the physical decolorization and aging of a gnome, and is caused by a lack of exposure to new and exciting experiences. This bleaching of color is accompanied by a psychological decline, first into depression and apathy, and eventually into madness and death. Gnome efforts to fend off the bleaching only serve to fuel their racial curiosity and whimsy, giving it somewhat of a manic edge. Some claim that the bleaching is a result of the gnomes leaving the First World thousands of years ago. Rare gnomes survive the bleaching and develop an enigmatic wisdom and connection to the natural world, earning them the name Bleachlings. Oh, those Bleachlings. That's the curse of our race, which only struck after the gnomes left the First World. To put it simply, gnomes must constantly have new experiences. If a gnome gets into a rut, so to speak, he bleaches. We start to lose colour, literally. Our skin and hair become pale, and the worst thing is that our soul loses colour too. If the process continues unchecked, the gnome dies. History recalls only a few cases where gnomes actually died of old age. Most of them perish either because of the bleaching or in the middle of some crazy adventure they've joined just to stave it off. Oh, so you travel around a lot to fend off the bleaching, then? Jubilos stares at you, then nods slowly. You see, I enjoy being alive. I like to eat pancakes in the morning. I like to write articles for magazines. I like it when I leave the publishing house in Absalom and a crowd of fans immediately mobs me. So I don't intend to die at the peak of my life because of some stupid ancient curse. But don't you dare imagine that everything I do is just for fear of the bleaching. I tell people the truth about the world that surrounds them. My theoretical research aids the development of different branches of science in various institutes. Yes, sooner or later I'll bleach and die like any other gnome, but the name of the famous Jubilos Narthropple will live throughout the ages. So how did gnomes get here? If you came from the First World, why didn't you stay there? They came here in ancient times from the First World. You do know what the First World is, right? If you don't, ask me about it some other time. I used to lecture on it at a couple of institutes. According to the understanding I've accumulated, the gnomes were an immortal race until some of our especially insightful ancestors came up with a brilliant idea. They decided it would be fun to learn how it feels to be mortal. I would like very much to meet those gnomes. I wouldn't even kick them. I'd just look in their eyes without a single word. Too bad they're all long dead by now. As everyone knows, a stupid enough idea can be extremely contagious. So the gnomes caught this infection, all of them, without a hope for cure, So they found a way to Golarion and decided to settle here. And, you'll never believe it, they got just what they wanted. They severed their link with the First World, they gained mortality, the bleaching, and a heap of local diseases that have been keeping our race on the verge of extinction ever since. Extinction, eh? That wouldn't be so bad. I want to know more about the First World. Well, you've asked the right person. I am an expert in studying the First World. Give me your questions. Who's in charge of the First World? It's commonly assumed that the eldest rule it. They are overseers, but more just a glorified version of Fey Lords. Power attract pompous blockheads in every world. Jubilos gives you a critical stare. It's fortunate, then, that the problem doesn't trouble your lands at all. But let's get back to the First World. The eldest possess the power to keep matter in the First World in a more or less constant state. That's why the Fae treat them as demigods and offer them prayers, just as we offer prayers to Desna, Erastil, or even Lamashtu. We know about these two. Who's Lamashtu? Lamashtu, also known as Mother of Monsters, Mistress of Insanity, and Grandmother Nightmare, is the goddess of madness, monsters, and nightmares. She is the only demon lord to attain true divinity. She is the mother and patroness of many misshapen and malformed creatures that crawl, slither, or flap on, above, or below the surface of Golarion. Her unholy symbol is a three-eyed jackal head, which may be represented in many ways, and her sacred animal is the jackal. So she sounds like a lovely god. So, are there any sentient beings in the First World? Of course! The Fae! And all their relatives, and all their relatives' relatives. And then some more Fae besides. Sometimes one meets leprechauns or satyrs there, which are actually another type of Fae, just caused by another name. And all of them are immortal, by the way, at least within their own home world. The souls of the creatures of the First World have no connection with the realm of mortals. When a creature of the First World dies, its soul just materializes in another body, similar to its old one. It's not a pleasant experience, and the resurrected creature loses almost all of the powers and abilities it developed over its life, but it keeps all its memories and personality. It's still much better than a mortal death, I would say. Sometimes the process doesn't even take long. A killer might meet his victim again the following week. Naturally, this immortality has influenced the way First World inhabitants think. For instance, Fae enjoy mischief and tricks that can easily end in someone's death. The Fae think it's just funny, and anyone from another world who falls victim to such tricks doesn't end up having much to say at all. Once, the gnomes were immortal relatives of the Fae. Jubilos sighs. So how do you get to the First World? Mainly through magic portals, created by skilled magicians. But the price of such a portal is usually in excess of several thousand gold coins. There is another way, of course. There are documented cases where spontaneous portals to the First World have opened in remote places on Golarion, where, as mages say, the boundaries between the two worlds has grown thin. But spontaneous portals are rather dangerous. You never know what's lurking on the other side. Only desperate adventurers and madmen use them, and of course romantic suicidal idiots who think that good common sense is too boring. That sounds like me. So what's it like in the First World? It's huge, wild, and extremely unfriendly to the unprepared traveler. Nothing remains constant there. Matter changes before your eyes. What was a mountain yesterday becomes a river today, and that river flows upwards. The trees touch the sky, the heat of the desert can melt metal, and hurricane winds can tear a person apart. But it would be wrong to think of the First World as a plane of total destruction. Creation is just as important there. The deserts spring alive into forests, and when the hurricane subsides, animals emerge from hiding. Huge, wild, as untamed as the world itself. The First World epitomizes life in its original chaotic meaning. There's a theory that gods used the First World as a training ground, to practice their ability to create matter. Then they abandoned the First World to its own fate, and wandered off to create Golarion. Some say that the inhabitants of the First World still hold a grudge against the gods for this. So you know a lot about that place. You ever been there? Jubilas wrinkles his lips. I haven't the opportunity yet, unfortunately. My studies of the First World are limited to the confused statements of witnesses or scribbles in their diaries. Also, I've studied the remains of some unfortunates who periodically fall out of spontaneous portals. I'd keep to the hope that sooner or later I'll manage to visit that wonderful place, and certainly the notes I'd write on the place would be far more extensive and informative than all the ramblings on the subject I've had to wade through. Naturally, the main concern of my expedition would be the safety of its leader, namely me. It would be extremely foolish to go that far and see that much, only to lose the chance to tell anyone about it. Let me ask you something else. Ask away. Why have you studied the First World so much? Jubilas looks at you for several moments, his eyes narrow. I told you already, I'd like to be alive. I assure you other gnomes share the same attitude. Between the bleaching, disease, and old age, we have a lot to yearn for. A lot to yearn for? I just yearn for this fucking heating pad to stay in the position that I want it to be behind my back. But the ancient gnomes, for some reason, decided that mortality, the bleaching, and all the diseases of Golarion are preferable to the immortality of the First World. I can't do anything to change that, but I can do something with my own life. I want to find a way back to the First World for all the gnomes of Golarion. Unfortunately, to do this, I can't just gather up all the gnomes and send them marching through the nearest portal. We're too attached to Golarion now. We've lost our connection with the chaos of the First World. We've become too mortal, if you see what I mean. When a gnome dies in the First World, he dies forever, like any visitor. But there must be something that can be done to solve this problem, and I intend to find out what it is. Jubilos Nartruple, the hero who returned the gnomes home. It has a nice ring to it, wouldn't you say? So you're planning to take all the gnomes out of this world? You would be the greatest hero of all time. I wholeheartedly support your endeavor to take all the gnomes out of this world. Anyway, I gotta go. Come back when you run out of clever ideas again. He wants to get rid of all the gnomes. I think he might be my favorite person. Irvin Smith, I don't have enough pieces. Okay. Alright, so I got a few days. Unlock a new leader post. I have a feeling that just 5 leaders won't make a real council. I hope the Baroness can find a few more positions in her government or come up with some. Treasurer alone cannot handle all the barony's tasks and missions. They need good associates. So we did get a treasurer. Waiting for news on the curse thing. Find out more about trolls. I do like how it literally does not tell you how to find out more about the trolls. Doesn't tell you where to go. Just says, yo, there's some trolls out there somewhere. Find out about them. Good luck. And then you literally have to go out exploring. Which is pretty cool. Loading screen, loading screen. Loading screen, it's a loading screen. We are loading and it's a screen. That's why we call it loading screen. La 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 loading screen. I said loading screen. I said loading screen. I said loading screen. Yeah, loading and it's a screen. That's why we call it loading screen. That's why we call it loading screen. Still loading. I need to sell some stuff to my merchants out here. Man, Splode, you've given me a lot of bits. I didn't even notice you're up to 700 up there. So many bits. Thanks, Splode. Man, these loading screens are long, bro. Okay, we're gonna sell some stuff to Hasuf. Apparently we're not going to sell that much to him, though. Corrosive Heavy Flail +1. Flaming Bastard Sword +1. +1 Frost Dueling Sword. Flame Guard Tower Shield. Ring of Luck. That'd be nice to have. Eyes of the Eagle. Trap Springer's Gloves. +10 to Stealth. Build points. Oh, let's get a new rope. And she's wearing Wisdom. I wonder if Trap Springer Gloves would help her.
Mi amore!
I don't see any more crowbars. She wears these. Currently she's got a plus 20. Plus 25. Nice! Now she'll never fail a trickery roll. Well, she shouldn't, anyway. Could buy that tower shield. I could buy that for Jathal, and then Jathal could give her shield to Harem. I won't have any money left. You know, fuck it, let's get it. The nice thing too is that give this to her. She goes up to 31. She also gains some reflex. Now she has cold resist 10 and fire resist 10 as well. And her shield's much cooler looking. And then Harem could use this shield and go up to a 26 AC. And then we could sell that shield. We only have 700 gold left. And 15 BP. So we're pretty poor right now.
Time becomes distance.
All right. Let's go.
Step, step, step.
Let's go. So I need to kill about 6 or 7 days, I think, before I come back. But I might not need to kill that long if something's gonna happen on the 1st of the month. So I don't think I want to go too far away. You may stumble upon a resource area in your travels. Yeah, I know. I've already gotten a bunch of resource things. We got that one. We got that one. We got that one. We even got that one over there. I want to go up here and get this one. We should stop by the old oak and kill that fucking troll that's right there. And go back to the ruined watchtower soon enough. See what's over here. Okay. Let's go. Let's go up here. So 26. No, I never counted those fire elements again, but then I never actually went that way. Okay, something's happening with my kingdom. So let's see what it is. I gotta grab some more ice. Hold on. Grabbing some ice. Grabbing some ice. Grabbing some ice. Yeah, grabbing some ice. I am grabbing it with some ice. That's why I call it grabbing some ice. Sitting back down, sitting back down, sitting back down, yeah, I'm sitting back down. And I'm sitting and it's back down, that's why I call it sitting back down. Fixing the heating pad, fixing the... That's too many syllables. And, frankly, it's just getting tiresome even if it wasn't. I've got an event. I've got an event. Alright. Everything built here. Everything's built here. I already knew that. What I want to know is everything built here? No, stuff still needs to be built, including Bakken's shop, which requires 6 more days. The treasurer requests my attention. Wants me to go to the throne room. Seriously? After I just left? Oh my god. Alright, I'll be back to visit the throne room shortly. Okay, calm down. Couldn't have told me that right before I left, Jubilost. Also, how do I know this? You calling me on my fucking phone? We'll go back to the throne room just very soon. I don't want to enter Forward Watch just yet. Let me tell you where I do want to enter. I want to go to the Moist Basin. Alright, we'll fight some random encounters. Those fire elementals were crazy. They were crazy. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Spitting giant centipedes. Alright.
Consider me provoked.
Unworthy.
Blood for Gorum!
Isn't that hurt?
Tear them apart!
Die, die, die!
We good? Wondered if you could beat them now. Oh no, I still couldn't beat them. I still could not beat them. Were you here when I got attacked by those 2 ferocious owlbears and got completely obliterated? Did you see me fight the rock? I did manage to beat the rock on like my... like, I don't know, 3rd try or something.
Time becomes distance.
Can't beat ferocious owlbears right now. I can tell you that right now. Possibly 1 with a couple of reloads, but definitely not 2. Alright, we're going here first. Actually, stop. Go here. Nobody's tired yet. Damn it!
I need to catch my breath.
Let's try fighting that troll now while people aren't fatigued yet. I mean, Octavia's fatigued, but it doesn't really matter that much. Now, I tried fighting this troll before a couple of times, and it absolutely demolished us. Demolished. Because it's not just a normal troll. It's a special big man-eating troll.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. You know, we've been here before. Where is the... Oh god, there he is. Man-eater troll.
Time becomes distance.
So we're gonna buff to the 9s for this.
Here!
She's gonna cast... 1 minute per level, 1 minute per level. She's gonna cast this. She's gonna cast this.
Shall we move?
I'm gonna
We
cast
shall move.
this.
Share your will.
He's gonna cast
sorry.
this.
Was lost in thought.
Quick,
I'm
quick!
gonna use my
Else we miss
mutagen.
all the fun!
She's gonna pop a
What
song.
troubles you? Ready and
She's
willing.
gonna cast haste. In we go.
Speak. You cannot stand against me.
Alright.
Yeah. Die, die, die!
Tear them apart!
Let's try Bleeding Touch. Turn this on. Let's try Touch of Chaos. Summon a pony. And start right out with some fucking Scorching Ray. Oh, dude, we're destroying this thing now.
Unworthy.
Okay, well, it's quite a bit easier now. 108 XP. Guess we didn't need all the buffs necessarily. Ooh, it has a magical belt. A +2 giant strength belt. She's got +2 to all stats belt. She doesn't have a belt at all. She's got 2 giant strength already. He's got 2 con. She's got 2 dex. She's got 2 con. Well, Jathal could use a little more strength in her life. There you go. Troll with a belt fetish. I guess so, man. I took that thing to school. I only had a +13 to hit.
Step, step, step.
Now we go here.
My strength fades.
We claim this to get the medicinal herbs. We got a little signpost next to it that says it's ours. Now we go back to the capital. 1 day and 2 hours. That's a long time. They're going to be really tired by the time we get there. Because we're not stopping to rest on the way back. The encounters in this area should be easy, though.
My strength fades.
Don't care. Kobold flame show.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Tear them apart! Go.
Unworthy.
Repent!
Okay, that's dealt with. We honestly got 49 XP for that. And it was really easy. I wouldn't mind fighting like another fucking 50 of these little kobold fights. If I could get them with no loading screens in between. We're on really far away from level 7. We're not going to be level 7 for a long time. Have we killed any trolls with a new weapon? Yeah, I have killed some trolls with a new weapon. Did she even hit? Oh yeah, she hit the troll for 42 with that bad boy. We fought some other trolls in the other place. Apparently I've only survived 37 random encounters. Yeah, crits are double the damage. Well, it depends on the weapon actually. Some weapons are triple damage on crit, and a few weapons like a scythe are ×4 damage on a crit. Like the great axe that she's using, I believe is ×3 damage on a crit. It is, but it only crits on a 20. Whereas, say, her longsword, her dueling sword only does double damage on a crit, but it crits on a 19 or 20. And her sword crits on a 19 or 20 and does double damage. Only on a 20 and ×2 damage. Wait, he's only using a masterwork mace? We haven't found him a better weapon in all this time? She does a ×3 crit with this bow. She does a ×3 crit with the bow. I think it hit for like 120 plus damage on a crit. Well, does 3 to 19 base. Plus, when she's fully buffed up, she has a 30 strength, which gives her a +10. And with a two-handed weapon, you do 1.5 times it. So, that'd be another 15 damage. That's 18 to... Well, let's just add up the max. That's 29. That's 34. Then She gets 2 more for being in a rage. It's 36. She's using power attack, which gives her... Six more. That's 40 damage she could do. Yeah. So yes, on a crit it could do like 120 damage, not counting her sneak attack or precise strike damage, which don't get multiplied, but that's still another 2d6. So she could do like 132. And I don't know if there's any other damage modifiers that I'm not even adding in. But yeah, so she could do north of 130 damage. Right now the current damage record in our party is 69 though, and that was done by Amiri. She's only done 67, I think. But that wasn't with this axe. We have a wall. Back to the throne room. So we killed the troll. Now we just gotta kill Floating Skull guy and those fucking were-rats, which I'm still scared of. I'm still literally scared of those were-rats. My only complaint about this game is the amount of loading screens you have to go through. So to come back and check on this throne room thing and then get back out adventuring, I got a loading screen into the throne room, loading screen into the world map once I'm in there, I mean into the kingdom management map, loading screen out of the kingdom management map, loading screen out of the throne room to City Square, and loading screen out of City Square back to the world map, which means I'm going to have to go through 5 loading screens minimum
When we stop.
before I'm back traveling again. Jubilas cordially greets you with a document. Baroness, you will never guess what your treasurer is holding. He waves a paper above his head. The ink on it still seems wet. This is a list of things that tumbled out of the wall of your own basement as the workers were undertaking repairs. Jubilas adjusts his glasses and starts reading. A gilded guard. 1. Silverware. 3. A set of old coins. The list is long and varied, so I'll get... Oh, he's still talking. The list is long and varied, so I'll get straight to the point. It appears that your workers uncovered the Stag Lord's secret cache. Items stolen from his own henchmen. Finding the true owners of these things would be a hard and thankless job, while taking these trinkets for your own chests is complicity to expropriation. In other words, robbery. As your financial advisor, I recommend a compromise. Appraise these riches and spend an equal amount on reviving the villages laid to waste by the bandits. Let these treasures bring some good to those who suffered most under the Stag Lord. Order them returned to the people. Use them to revive the villages. Keep them. Or let him decide. I don't know. I can't deal with this. I don't want the Stag Lord's blood treasure, but... you decide. You're the gnome. That's why I hired you. Then I shall arrange that the funds be directed to the restoration of the villages. A contented smile crosses Jubilos's face. We got +3 to community. That's good, actually. I wanted to raise community. So that's great. So before I fuck around with anything else, I'm gonna drag my super tired ass to bed over here. And get some rest. At least there's not a loading screen to the bedroom. Surprised. Okay. No longer tired. Now let's see if what kind of kingdom management we can do while we're here. Another loading screen time. Usually the loading screen into kingdom management doesn't take terribly long. Compared to some of the loading screens, which take forever. Alright, that's done. Oh, we also got +1 economy for meeting with the treasurer. Alright, so right now, community's almost at a 20. Loyalty's at 26, economy's at 22. We can buff both of these to rank 2 if I can do the event or the project that actually does that. Proposal for cooperation needs 4 more days. Mysterious weed needs 3 more days. The first of the month is coming up. Now I can support the treasurer's endeavors, which requires 14 days, and we'll rank our economy up, but let's not do that just yet, because I don't want to miss the first of the month thing. I mean, I don't know if anything's going to happen at the first of the month, but they said that usually at the first of the month is when barony business stuff happens, and you're supposed to be in your capital. That's going to take 4 more days. So, can I save while... I can save while in this. That's good. So I'm going to quick save. And I'm going to wait a day or 2 and see what happens. Now we're on the 1st of Erastus. Oh, new events did just pop up on the 2nd of Erastus. Oh, that's because we just finished these things. The messengers managed to persuade the peasants to thoroughly weed their fields. The crops were saved. Tristan got something done, and our loyalty is now up to 29. Good job. An advisor wants to discuss an urgent matter that concerns the barony's future. Okay, we'll visit the throne room. This needs 1 more day. So we'll go back to the throne room. Finally, we got a task completed. The last 2 that my people tried to do failed. I wonder how easily save scummable that is. Like, I wonder when it makes the roll. Does it make the roll right when the thing pops up that it's finished? Or does it make the roll way back when you first start the task so that you can't really save scum it? I should experiment. If they were smart, they would have made it so that it makes the roll right when you start the task, so it's really hard to save scum. Because it's going to be a long time between when you do it and when it finishes. But it might make the roll right at the end, in which case you could save scum it. I love save scumming, you guys. I can't tell you how much I like save scumming. I just don't like randomness fucking me over. Octavia looks alarmed. You won't believe what just happened. Some crook showed up at your gates, insisting on seeing the lass who bumped off the Stag Lord. He says that he's brought a tribute to the new chief of the Stolen Lands, and asked for permission to conduct his business under your protection. You don't want to be seen as another Stag Lord, and your lands as open field for thugs. Then throw this scoundrel out, along with his tribute. I hope this good lad and his colleagues will share their revenue. Alright, whatever. Get rid of this fucking bandit then. I don't want any bandits coming here. I don't like bandits. Tell him he comes in here, I'll cut his head off. Octavian nods. Of course, I will indulge myself a bit and let our citizens chase the crook to the city gates. There's some more community, which means we can now level that up, I think, as well. But again, all these things take a goodly amount of time. So that's taken care of. Renowned Explorer, that still has a thing on it, and I don't like that because there's nothing new there. Alright. I guess that was all for the first of the month. Regent demands your presence. Done. +1 community. So now our community is up to 24. So we can rank loyalty, community, and economy all up to 2. But each of these takes a good amount of time. This is going to end in 1 day. And now we can support the Regent's endeavors as well. So we can support Regent, Treasurer, and Counselor's endeavors, ranking all those up, but each one takes 14 days. And not just 14 days of an NPC's time while we do other stuff. They take 14 days of our time. Which is pretty crazy. What do I have in the way of BP? I have 32. I could go build something else in Ford Watch. The alchemical shop is almost built. Alright, I'm gonna go build something else in Ford Watch real quick, since I've got some more BP. Get the town built up. Alright. What we need is more military. We've got a barracks coming in, a lumber yard, an alchemical shop. We can build 2 things over here, 1 thing here, and some walls. The walls will give us military and will help protect the town. So let's build the wall now. The wall's gonna take 5 more days. Only 5 days to build a wall around the whole town, huh? Man, you got some hard workers. Okay, we're out of BP, so that's all we can do at Ford Watch for now. Alright, which one of these should we do first? The Shrike Hills. Oh cool, this shows what resources I've gotten here. Named after the Shrike River, winding along them, which in turn got its name from the numerous flocks of birds that nest along its length. Deep and affluent, it could have made a great trade route if not for its numerous and deadly rapids. The hills are equally deceptive. Green and lush, they shelter countless monsters and bandits. So we got the Shrike Hills, and we've collected some things there. And collected 3 things in the outskirts. A region of the Stolen Lands bordering with Brevoy. It has less monsters than the woods or marshes, but is plagued by numerous bandits. For a long time, Oleg Levitin's trading post has served as the only bastion of civilization in this inhospitable realm. Dude, we're gonna have region improvements as well? Holy shit. So that's a whole other thing we're gonna be able to do, besides building towns, collecting resources, and all that. We're gonna be able to do region improvements. Alright, so now I have to decide which one of these I want to rank up first. Economy, loyalty, or community. Affects the state's income. Let's do economy first. Wait, we can't. He's busy with this for one more day. She's busy with this for one more day. Let's see if we can save scum this. I'm gonna quick save. We're gonna try skipping a day. And we're gonna see what happens. What's that? Failure. Unfortunately, negotiations between the region and the merchants from Absalom led to nothing. The agreement is made. We got 500 BP. What is that? Agreement with Joseph Selenius turned out to be less profitable. Restov's Builders Guild is charging us unfair prices. The cost of all buildings increases by 25%. What? We got scammed, you guys. We got fucking scammed. Dick bag. Alright, now we're gonna find out if we can save scum that event that we just failed. Because I saved immediately before I waited the day. So we're gonna see if I wait the day again, if maybe it succeeds. Oh. No, we need to load an earlier save than this autosave, obviously. Oh no, this is it. We need to skip a day. Oh, you can save scum it, you guys! Look, now it's a success. It was a failure before. The Regent promised the merchants help in resolving property disputes, if any arise. In exchange, the merchants agreed to lower their prices on timber, ore, and stone. We got community, economy, and 5 BP. This happened, and we got the 500 BP from Joseph Selenius, but we've got the unfair prices thing. I wonder how I get rid of that. If I can ever get rid of that. Alright, so now it's time to support the treasurer's endeavors. It's gonna take 2 weeks of my time. So here we go. Before we do that, let's save. Something just happened. Okay, quest updated. Build points are the barony's main resource. They're required for settlement upgrades, construction, project management, and so on. The barony treasury's weekly income is 30 BP, sent by Jamandi Aldori from Brevoy. Apart from that, your territories have their own individual income, which consists of their basic income plus other BP sources. Basic income depends on your barony's stats. Each rank adds 1 BP per point to the weekly income, but the total a rank contributes to basic income cannot exceed the profitability of your economy. So if the barony's economy rank equals 3, it adds 3 BP to the weekly income. The population rank equals 5, but it cannot add more than 3 BP to the weekly income due to the barony's economy. So the economy acts as a cap to all the other ones. All other BP sources such as trade agreements are added to the basic income as is. Half of the barony's income, except the initial BP, is sent to Brevoy. You'll be able to claim independence from Brevoy to retain the full BP income, but lose the initial 30 BP income later during the game. Oh. Economy has reached rank 2. Look how many new events there are! What?! Okay, hold on. So many new events, you guys. Now, my town, after those 14 days... Why does it say nothing is built yet? Don't say nothing is built yet. Everything's built. A bunch of stuff is built. Don't say nothing is built. Okay, there we go. All this stuff is now built. And I have more than enough BP to build more shit in Forward Watch. So before I do anything else... Well, let's look at these events and see what they are. Okay. Oh, God. There's so many people waiting in the castle. Oh, my God. There's so many events, you guys. A heartbroken mother begs for help. Alright, we'll get to it. The Howling Wolves should be attended before the 1st of Eridus. We got 13 days on that. Wolves are breeding at a surprising rate. The local forests are full of the ravenous beasts, and there's not enough quarry to feed them all. The starving wolves howl at night to gather into packs and attack the villages. Need to send Octavia or Amiri to deal with that. That seems like something that'd be good for Amiri, but let's hold off. We got the Enchanted Wind. News has arrived from the largest observatory in the Five Kings Mountains. The enchanted lens of their main telescope broke. The destruction of such a powerful artifact caused a gust of enchanted wind, which is now moving towards a region of the barony. You should seize this opportunity. Jubilost or Harem could do that. Okay. There's a nasty rumor going around. A nasty rumor is spreading, injurious to the Baroness's reputation. It is said that Brevoy wants more territory, and that Lady Jamandi Aldori's people have already been dispatched to get rid of the local population and free up lands for the colonizers. Tristan or Harem can deal with that. Then we got trade taxes. Some half-elf trading fabric in the capital discovered a loophole in the law which made it possible to avoid paying most taxes. The news spread quickly through the Merchants Guild. Measures should be taken immediately or the treasury will take a loss. Jubilost or Tristan can deal with that. We got troll sightings. Bands of marauding trolls have been seen throughout the region. The people are frightened and beg for protection. Only Amiri can handle that. Requires 28 days to solve. Time to discuss events related to Bald Hilltop. Okay. Important visitors arrived and demands an audience at once. So we got 3 people waiting in the throne room. I feel like a lot of important shit is going on at once here. I'm gonna hard save. Alright, Octavia or Amiri could do this. Octavia is worse at it, but I think I need Amiri for something else. Enchanted Wind could be Jubilost or Harem. Tristan or Harem. Tristan or Jubilost. Only Amiri can deal with this, huh? Alright, let's have Amiri deal with this. Tristan or Jubilost. 14 days. Tristan or Harem. Jubilost or Harem. Octavia or Amiri. If I send all my people out on these, then I can't do anything to support their endeavors. Because this is going to take like my whole government to deal with these 4 events. Like if I want to support the region, I need Octavia for that. If I want to support the counselor, I need Tristan for that. But if I want to handle all 4 of these things, I need to use 17 and 14 is, yeah, should be attended before first Eridus. They all say should be attended before first Eridus. That one only requires 10 days though. 21. What? This one requires 10. Okay. This one requires 14. This one requires 10. And only Octavia can do it because Amiri is busy. So I guess we'll send Octavia to try to deal with the wolves. Enchanted Wind has a DC of 16. Rumor has a DC of 14. That has a DC. So I need to send the highest ranked person to deal with the wind, which would be Jubilost. The nasty rumor could be Harem or Tristan. The trade taxes has to be Tristan. So he'll do Tristan. That leaves Harem to deal with the nasty rumor. Alright, now we can deal with the 3 visitors in the castle. But before I deal with the 3 visitors in the castle... I wonder if I should wait and not build any buildings since I have this unfair prices. Like, how long is the unfair prices gonna last? Well, let's go to Forward Watch. Oh, our wall is done. And lots of other stuff too. Okay. I need more military. And stability and relations. I wonder if diagonally counts as adjacent. Bakken's shop is done. I could build a smithy next to a shop. I could build an... Oh, look how expensive some of these are. relations is really bad. I need more military, though. I want more military. So I'm going to build a smithy. I mind having more stability as well. What else should I build here, you guys? I have 2 spots left over here. I should build something that gets a bonus when adjacent to another thing. So I could build a second shop and a second smithy. Or I could build, which would be kind of cheap, or I could build another barracks and another longhouse, which would be kind of expensive. Or I could just build a shitload of smithies. This is crazy blacksmith town. What don't I have? I have a tavern, right? I have a smithy now that's being built. I don't have an herbalist house. Bakken's workshop. Barracks can be upgraded to garrisons. I could just build 2 more barracks over here and just have a shitload of barracks. Or a barracks and another smithy. Be upgraded. Also can be upgraded. I would like to get some more stability. Alright, you know what? I'm going to build a second longhouse on this side of the river. And a second barracks over here as well. Still have 396. Try to swallow some soda. Alright, we got 3 people waiting for us in the castle. So let's see what they want. And then all of these events will take 10 days, 21, 10 days, 10 days. So a minimum of 10 days. So we're looking at a minimum of the 27th of Erastus before anything else is going to happen here. Oh, these loading screens. Loading screens, loading screens, loading screens, loading screens. There's so many of them, and they're the loading screens. Okay. Got a fucking menagerie in here. Stefano Mosconi. The man before you reeks of vanity. His black hair is curled, styled, and generously waxed, from the hair atop his head to the points of his mustache. His cheeks and forehead are powdered white, giving him a pallid look. His hand rests casually on the golden hilt of his rapier. Well, I already hate this guy. As he approaches, a mean, sly smile appears on his face, clearly practiced and prepared in advance.
Ah, the ruler of this barony. I'm flattered by your attention. Sir Stefano Mosconi of Patax at your service.
The man performs a derisive bow. Why is there a Pataxian noble in my barony?
I was just traveling back home to glorious Patax after paying a visit to Restov, all in service to King Castruccio Irvetti. I thought I might take a day to visit the capital of Patax's bold new neighbor.
Sir Stefano sniffs, then grins.
I must say, I really should have spared myself the trouble.
It's hardly worth seeing. Hey, buddy. You might want to watch your tone in my throne room. I could send you back to Patax in a box. Or maybe several boxes.
And now we resort to insults. Hardly surprising.
Sir Stefano lets out a long sigh, tapping his rapier.
Well, you aren't worth the glove it would take to challenge you. Besides, you'd probably just run off and hawk it. It's easily worth twice what you've got in this throne room.
Sir Stefano stares at you and snorts.
You know, the initial goal of my visit was to take measure of your so-called barony, to see if you had anything of value to offer to Patax. And do you know what I found? Nothing. You have absolutely nothing to offer.
Sir Stefano continues on without giving you a chance to respond.
Military, weak. Culture, weak. Economy, weak. You'd best pray to all the gods that my King Irvetti doesn't declare war on you. On the other hand, maybe you should pray he conquers you. This mess of a barony could use the rule of a proper king.
Stefano, I need you to be frank with me. Have you ever had the pleasure of being acquainted with the hooves of a jackass? Other than your own feet, I mean. Sir Stefano opens his mouth and immediately closes it. Now, I'm gonna personally tax your cortege to help improve my economy. And as taxes are especially high this year, I do hope you'll be able to pay, because the punishment for failure to pay is imprisonment. Sir Stefano Furious starts to speak. My king will not stand for... Oh yeah, King Iravetti. Don't worry. I'm gonna send him a nice sad letter, relaying news of your tragic fate. What? Sir Stefano pauses. I can't say Sir Stefano for some reason. I keep wanting to say stir. Sir Stefano pauses mid-rant. My tragic fate? Yeah, the tragic fate you met after attempting to escape your chains. Now, if there's nothing else, I think you need to go replaster your face with whatever makeup you've been using. Your cheeks are so bright the red glow must be visible from Absalom. I'll take my leave now. See ya. And I wouldn't want to be. Next, a peasant woman, her face soaked with tears, approaches you quickly. Oh, your grace, woe is me. I've met my darkest hour. You're my last hope. By all the gods ever prayed to, don't leave me in need. My name is Jenna Tamerson. Our village is a short way from here. It's been 2 days since my boy Tig ran away, and I haven't seen him since. We've searched and searched, but it's no use. If you don't find him, no one else will. Do people disappear a lot around here? They sure do. There's so many hazards around, it's hard to name them all. Wild beasts in the forest, and monsters, and some troublins, and bandits, and whatever. Even adults have a hard time surviving here, and for a little kid. Oh. Look, do you have any idea where he could be? Jenna looks around cautiously and whispers. There's this old hag in the gnarl marches. The swamp witch. I won't say her name out loud. Don't you even ask. The mere thought of her chills the blood in my veins. She has the evil eye. She eats people. She even turns into a black raven and soars in the sky. It's sure as day that she took my boy. Alright, I can find your boy. Don't even worry. Oh, your grace. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll be praying to Erastil to grant you long life. If there's any news, I'll be nearby in the tavern. May the good gods help you. The sobbing woman leaves. We got some loyalty. And presumably a new quest? Who are these people? Oh, it's Jod. And Tristian. And Lindsay? Your Grace, we are victorious. We fought off the spider invasion and defeated the strange dryad who led them. As a sign of gratitude, your subjects have a special reward for you. 2,800 gold. How the fuck did my subjects gather 2,800 gold for me? The subject's been fucking dipping into some fucking cooking math or something to supplement their farming income. I wonder, was this flood of spiders truly caused by that curse? I mean, the curse must be ancient and very ominous. The spiders were definitely scary as well, but they weren't ancient and ominous. I agree with Lindsay. This does seem strange. Seems more like the plot of an insane dryad than a true curse. Then how can we explain the dismal atmosphere on the bald hilltop? The pressure both of us felt there, Jod. Maybe the curse drove the poor dryad insane, causing her to lead this spider invasion into the barony. Tristan shakes his head incredulously. In any case, I have alarming news. As soon as the spider invasion was over, I visited the bald hilltop again. It's grown quiet once more, and just as gloomy as before. I don't think the curse is broken, just laying low, like a monster that rests before it feeds again. What? Again? I
I'm sorry for bringing the bad news. Unfortunately, we failed to defeat this curse for good. How much time do we have? Oh, a fair amount. I'd say half a year or even more. Now that the Bald Hilltop is quiet again, I can barely feel its evil will. I'm sure we'll have enough time to prepare for the next attack. Alright, I want to deal with this once and for all. What do we do? Yes, let's level the Bald Hilltop to the ground and put an end to the curse. I doubt we will be able to defeat it in such a straightforward fashion. The heart of the curse is undoubtedly centered on the Bald Hilltop, but the spiders appeared all throughout the barony. I don't think we're going to do any damage to the curse by destroying the hilltop. I would expect exactly the opposite. We'd only provoke it into attacking again, immediately on the heels of the last. No, the best we can do for now is make sure we're prepared for the next attack.
Alright, how do I get prepared? Don't be such a pessimist, Tristan. We might truly be able to overcome the curse, but only by studying it thoroughly. Your Grace, I will gather all the information available on this situation and get to work.
Alright, well let's prepare for the next attack, I guess. Tristan nods. Very wise. If only we knew more about the curse, we might figure out some way to fight it.
Lindsay frowns.
I don't understand. I spoke to the locals. They never had any spider invasions before, and nothing ever happened on the Bald Hilltop before either. Now both spiders and the curse, right when the new barony appeared in the Stolen Lands. All of this seems highly coincidental.
Get ready for anything. We got an Ancient Curse Part 2. 210 days we have. The spider invasion has been dealt with, but is that the last we'll hear from the dark curse that threatens us from the Bald Hilltop? I guess there's only one way to find out. We'll just have to be patient and wait. We have time to prepare for the next attack from the Bald Hilltop. What kind of curse is this? Why did it decide to attack us now? And the main question, will it be spiders this time, or something even scarier? I'm beginning to get nervous. Jod and Tristan are waiting to discuss the results of the spider invasion. We did get... Excuse me. We did get a new quest about the lost child. What kind of parents would let their child roam through woods where even seasoned adventurers might become something snack? Looks like our Baroness may have to babysit her subjects. Literally. Heeding the hopeless pleas of a poor village woman named Jenna Tannerson, we're heading out to look for her missing son Tig, an innocent child who was fool enough to take a stroll through the dangerous forest. We should hurry, or the little brat can end up as a little pile of bones. An old witch lives in the swamp that locals call the Gnarl Marches. Jenna's convinced that it was the witch who stole her boy. Unlock any secondary stat of your barony. The stronger the barony and more perspicacious its ruler, the more new opportunities she has every day. Consistent and steady commitment to state affairs will inevitably bear fruit, and on top of that it will create openings for new future leaders. Alright, I've apparently resolved 10 events, and I've increased the rank of a baron stat. Ancient Curse. I built the... From now on, Bakken shall serve the Baroness. Soon he will visit the capital to present the fruits of his labor. Ancient Curse Part 2. P is for prosperity. Alright, our heroine has a whole barony in her hands. She's going to work to wrap her head around the science of governing a country, and I'll become the whole country's chronicler. I'll write down and keep forever the tiniest details of how Kata turned this forsaken place into the jewel of the Stolen Lands. Our barony doesn't look very imposing right now. Rats run around in the streets of the capital, and clay tile roofs are impressive here. We're not afraid of the difficulties ahead, though. It'll work out if we do our best. I need to increase stats 5 times, wait 210 days for the curse, add 5 regions, wait for Bakken to show up, unlock a new leader post somehow. This is done. I need to upgrade to a town, don't know how. Need to unlock a secondary stat, don't know how. I need to still find the Dryad Teresia to get feather tokens. Find the Dwarven Ruins. Find a new monster for Amiri. Find this missing kid. Find the Ancient Outpost. Find out more about the trolls. Meet the nymph. I got a lot of shit to do. A lot of shit to do.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
Time becomes distance. Step, step, step.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like the fact that only 5 of my companions are in here for me to talk to. That means if I want to talk to, say, Ragongar, or Valerie, or Jathal, I've got to go fucking hunt them down somewhere. I wish they were all here in my throne room hanging out at any given time. Oh, maybe the only ones that are in here are the ones I've given jobs to. No, because Lindsay doesn't have an official job. Octavia, Jubilost, Harem, and Amiri do, though. I don't see Tristan in here, though. He's got a job, so I don't know. Let's see if there's anything else we can do with this real quick. His quick and curious mind led Jubilost to the Stolen Lands. He wanted to witness with his own eyes how our new nation flourishes, and left Absalom itself to do so. Renowned explorer, famous author, and all-around extraordinary person. Okay, we met with the Baroness. We met with the Baroness. Met with the Baroness. All of these are working, and they're going to be 10 days before any of them are done. Economy's at rank 2. Research into the nature of curses. Bald Hilltop. Costs 100 BP and 60 days. The Bald Hilltop has been the source of much strife for the young barony. The locals say that there's some kind of ancient curse behind it all. We should learn if there's any truth to the belief. Only Harem can do this, and he's busy. BP stands for build points. Horde Watch has got everything going on that it can right now. Okay, there's nothing else I can do here for now. So, I'm gonna leave. We'll come back in like 10 days and handle some more business. How you doing, Fry Guy? Welcome. I'm gonna go through multiple loading screens now. Minimum of 3 loading screens just to get back to the world map. I'm gonna stop off at the merchants on the way out though, in case I need to sell anything. Still debating whether to get this now or wait a bit. Still quite a few bugs apparently, and they're still fixing stuff, and they're breaking stuff when they're fixing stuff, and then they're having to fix that stuff, so probably wouldn't hurt to wait a bit.
Time becomes distance.
Oh, Tristan is in here. So maybe everybody that I've given a job to is in here. And that's why they're in here, because they're the ones that have jobs. And the ones that don't have jobs are fucking around out in the town somewhere. But when you leave the throne room, a bunch of those people are out here in the town as well, or in the tavern or something. So
Step.
they kind of move around. Loading screens, loading screens. Loading screens, yeah, loading screens. We are loading and they are screens. That's why we call them loading screens. Valerie's over here, just standing around. Alan and Delia are guards. They don't have anything. Nothing new to say.
Time becomes distance.
Savior and Morgana are there. Harem is there. Jubilos is there, but where is Jathal? We know that Tristan's over here. Jathal must be in the tavern, or she's somewhere. Traveling merchant, arsenal. You know, you have a lot of stuff from Kyonan. Have you been there? Enio shrugs. I was born in Kyonan, in Greengold, a port on the shore of Lake Incarthan, the only place in the elven homeland where others are allowed entrance. Merchants from all over the world rushed to Greengold as soon as Queen Talandia Edasiril opened it to strangers. It has been a city of commerce ever since. You might say that the business of trade runs in my blood. And returning to your question, yes, I often visit my homeland when I'm nearby. Oh, but that explains why he's got like these nice elven curve blades and stuff. +1 shock longbow is pretty nice. Okay, arsenal.
Take it on!
Verdal. Oh, I can ask Verdal about the ancient dwarven fortress. Hey, you know anything about any ancient dwarven fortresses around here? Nothing at all, your grace. 3 dwarf clans used to live in these lands. The Waradash, the Langabuk, and the Skiegi. My family is Skiegi, but we moved off to Maivan 200 years ago, together with Aldori, fleeing from the Conqueror. Our grandfathers made a safe bet that the sword lords would need swords. Anyhow, Neither me or my father have ever been to the old fortresses. I vaguely remember from grandfather's stories that the Langabok stronghold was supposed to be somewhere nearby, but no, I'd have no idea where to look for it. I was checking to see if he had a, Masterwork light crossbow. Let's offer him all the junk items. I don't think I want to offer him anything else. Guess we didn't have much to sell, so we don't have much money. The Suf has the same stuff as before. Okay.
Step, step, step.
Let's get my pet out. Okay. I don't even know where I'm going now. I know I need to kill time until at least the 27th. Guy says, what does BP stand for? Build points. Or it could be barony points. Or building points. But I think it said officially that it's build points. See, there's significant encyclopedia entries about all the Pathfinder rules. Like shitloads of Pathfinder rules stuff in here. But what there's not is anything about the kingdom mechanics. Like literally nothing about the kingdom mechanics. Which is a little bit weird, actually. Alright, we're back to the world map. 17th of Erastus. We want to wait till at least the 27th of Erastus before we come back to do any more kingdom business, unless we get an alert about something sooner than that. So, what that means is we got to decide what we're doing now. Oh yeah, we should go find that boy, because we should go to the Swamp Witch's hut. Because that's probably a time-sensitive thing. If we don't go look for that lost child eventually, that's probably gonna, like, not bad things are probably gonna happen, so... We could also stop by the ruined watchtower, because there's a new event there. It says... So... Yeah, we should head down to that Swamp Witch's hut, though. I could eventually go over to the Verdant Chambers for the nymph thing, too. Let's see if we can find a way to the Swamp Witch's hut, though. Maybe we go to the lone house and go from there? Random encounter. Someone on the road. I need to stop here very soon as well. This is another 3 hours I've been going. Plus I streamed for 7 hours of this earlier. That's like 10 hours of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Oh shit. Trolls. Uh-oh. What do we got up there? Merchant's guards. Okay. Well, if these are just normal trolls, and there's nothing special about this fight, then I don't think we really need to do much work here, in terms of... There's a branded troll. I feel like I need to save that merchant's guard. You, tank this branded troll. Everyone else, come over here.
Right.
Should forget the charge. Just go. The merchant guard's about to fucking die.
Despicable! Advance!
Merchant guard lived!
Consider me provoked!
Alright, we just killed 3 trolls, including a branded, without taking any damage. We're pretty tough now. An elderly half-elf stands before you. His sun-bleached hair reveal him as a seasoned traveler, and the confidence with which he holds his bow reveals him to be a seasoned warrior. In his cart full of various items, it seems a trader as well. Damn trolls! Almost died from the stink alone! The half-elf wipes the sweat from his brow. They almost had me. Since when are trolls not afraid of fire? Good thing I had a few flasks of acid among my goods. Thank you for your timely rescue, friends. Despite his confident gaze, his voice trembles slightly. A few moments more, and I would have... He frowns. Whoever rules this land gives little care to its safety. Formerly safe trade roads are given over to trolls, and not a guard to be seen. But where are my manners? I am Dalton, from Myven, a merchant by trade. Who are you? Well... Actually, we're just, simple travelers, you know, from Brevoy. In that case, I recommend you make haste to the nearest garrison, if you can find one. The roads are thick with trolls. Didn't you just see how we mauled those trolls, sir? They've attacked several villages, destroyed several bridges, and are scaring away trade caravans. Worse than bandits by far. And since you were kind enough to save my life, Dalton smiles. Some advice that might save yours. A mage lives nearby. I visit him from time to sell him reagents for his spells. He's an expert on trolls. Might know why they've suddenly become bolder. And fireproof. Dalton sighs. And he might have some acid weapons he'll sell as well. I've already got a sweet-ass acid axe. So you're from Myven, huh? What did they think about the new barony? Well, long ago, Myven was founded by the Sword Lords, who refused to bow before the new ruler and fled Brevoy. Well, not Brevins anymore. Our people and the people here have a lot in common, as I've heard the barony here was founded by people from Restov. Well, we look upon them as distant cousins, I suppose. Dalton smiles. Welcome cousins, that is, not family you'd rather forget. Have you seen any other dangers on the road? Trolls aren't enough, huh? Dalton laughs and frowns. Well, actually, I have heard a disturbing rumor. It's said a Hodag has made a lair in a cave south of here. Ooh, Hodag lair has been revealed. Whether true or not, Traders are taking no chances, taking forest routes instead. Let me mark the cave on your map. Amiri grins. I've never fought a Hodag! Yet! So, can you tell me anything else about this mage? I think we met him, actually. I think it's the guy that we met. Dalton scratches his head. Bartholomew is his name. He's not bad for a human. Always so polite, so respectful. But there's something odd about him. He lives alone in the middle of the woods. His house surrounded by traps with a single safe road leading to it. No bandits nor trolls scare him. Yeah, we've met him. And the way he looks at you, it's like he's examining you. Like he's considering to crack you open to see what's inside. The chills. Dalton shivers. Alright, great. Well, good luck. See you later. Hold a moment. I didn't have a chance to reward you for your help. Fortunes are best shared, after all. Safe travels. Some gold and some potions. Thank you, sir. People say there's another there's a Hodag living somewhere there. Just what we need. So that's what she wants for her next monster to kill. Trolls living in these woods can't content themselves with being normal, terrifying trolls. These greedy gut gluttons aren't afraid of fire, which is totally unlike trolls. Now isn't that a swinish trick? Some passing trader, who'd nearly become lunch for one of those beasts, told us that there's a wizard living nearby. Maybe this learned scholar could help us solve the riddle of the fireproof trolls? It shouldn't be difficult to find the wizard's house. There's a path from the road to his dwelling. Yeah, we've already found his house. And then he leaves. And we loot trolls. Guess we can just collect all. Wilderness encounter. Hey! He's got some stuff here. Thanks for saving us! No problem, but can I have your stuff? Apparently I can. Thanks, buddy. Lots of food. There's a tree in the way. There's also a book. "1,000 Revolutions. For the third night in a row, I've dreamt of the Grey Gardeners knocking at my door. I cannot believe it is my turn. To be cut down by a blade washed in the blood of 1,000 revolutions, as a wave of popular outrage washes over me, as my head tumbles down the steps of the scaffold. We take up the sword, and by it we shall perish. Once we struck down the imperial scum, but now it is we who must face the blade. The insurgent beast called revolution will never be sated. It needs new victims. This time it's my comrades and I. The cruelty of the hoarders in power echoes in the cruelty of the paupers, now intoxicated by their own freedom. We wanted change? Well, here it is. This is a country now of mad fanatics, fighting their treacherous past every day. Former friends are today's foes. This is about Galt. My workshop has been converted into a secret headquarters. If I could do it all over again, I would repair to my easel and refrain from the cause that has sent me down this path. Pretty interesting. Fallen tree is barring the wagon's way. We can't fucking super strength that shit out of the way. Between Amiri and my character, if we fucking enlarge up, use. I mean, we can have some fairly ludicrous giant-like strength. I guess there's nothing else here because this is a random encounter map, right? Probably don't need to search this map. Oh, we got around the tree. I'm going to assume there's nothing else around, though. Because, like I said, random encounter map. But you never know, because it wasn't really a random encounter. It was a scripted encounter. So there could actually be something. Doesn't seem like there is, though. to make sure, we'll check this last corner over here. Okay. Hey, that's convenient. That lone house happens to be right on our way. That's where we're going anyway. I think there's a lizard folk village down here. Oh, there's the Hodag lair, way over there. I guess we'll go to the lone house, and then we'll keep working our way to the Swamp Witch's hut. We'll talk to Bartholomew again. And see what we can learn from him. Crunchy ice. Crunch, crunch. Wonder how loud that is on the mic. Probably pretty loud. Sorry. Alright. Yeah, so that's 10 hours of Pathfinder Kingmaker today. So this is about a good time to probably call it quits for the night. I'm not sure if I can ever get out of this loading screen. We've already cleared this map. We already went through here, killed all the bandits, and it did everything we could here. So another hard save. As though the end of days has come. So if you're watching on YouTube, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker.